So my first question to the Arcturians would be, in this now, what is a way for all of us to continue to hold our light and hold our love through such challenging times here on the planet?
That is a very good question to ask, and it's a question that many people are asking themselves within this now. So, what we would say is to remember the power of unconditional love. Unconditional love is the manner in which one can connect with, commune with, remember, and even live within the feeling of the fifth dimensional frequency of reality. One of the things that is happening within this now is that Gaia is ready to move into her fifth dimensional frequency of her planetary self. However, just as the darkest night is just before the dawn, the greatest challenges are coming to our dear beloved planet within the now that she is ready to expand herself into the higher fifth dimensional frequencies of reality. Would you like to comment on that?
Absolutely. I think that this puts it less at a individual level and more of a planetary level. And this helps us to remember that with everything that is happening, not just with the virus, but with the fires in Australia, with all of the emotional turmoil that has gone on through the conflicts from our wars, through our poverty, through our injustice in our systems, that the planet is being just as affected as we are. And so to remember that really gives us that empowerment that we can make the change, not just for ourselves, but for the well-being of the planet as a whole.
Yes. And as you said that, feeling of Gaia, of her, and thinking of the planet as a living being. And that if all humans could think of Gaia as a living being, these hassles, these wars, these conflicts, these fires, all of these things, if they happened, they would happen with a knowing and an understanding and an interaction between the humans who are supposed to be the guardians of Gaia and Gaia herself. Did you wish to comment on that?
Being a guardian to Gaia herself, I think that's such an eloquent way to really remind us and ground us in our purpose for being here now. And I think this really brings it back to the fact that we are the creators of our own reality. You know, nothing is an accident. And so when we start to feel victimized by the things that are going on in the external world, we can use all of what's happening as an opportunity instead of an attack, an opportunity to go inwards and to really connect with, who am I? Why am I here? What is this greater mission that's outside of myself? And it all really ties back into Gaia. It ties back into the planet.
Yes, it ties back into Gaia because it is the one thing that every living being have in common. We all have the same mother. We have Mother Gaia. And so when we fight with each other, we are like children in a large family that are fighting with each other. And so busily being in our fight that we forget to ask our mother, ask Mother Gaia, What do you need from me within this now? And just what would happen if all the humans took their attention out of their fears, their desires, their angers, their wants, their needs, and instead focused on Gaia, focused on the planet on which they live, and remember that Earth, Gaia, is a living being. Would you like to comment on that a bit?
Yes, I would like to add on that with Gaia being a living being, just as we are living beings and we experience these emotions, these strong polarities of fear, of being abandoned, of being depressed, of being alone, separated, that energy is into Gaia's etheric body as well. That emotional energy affects the
Yes.
planet just as much as a physical of ailment would, like a fire or like a flood. It works the same way. So when we are balancing our own selves by going within, and once we're starting to understand and transmute our own fears, we're doing the same thing for the planet. And that on an emotional level is so, so important.
Yes, it is about the humans remembering that right now they look like humans. They act like humans, they think like humans, they love like humans, they fight like humans. But we, your galactic family, we want you to know that you are not just humans. You are galactic beings. And you, as a galactic being, has taken the great sacrifice of taking on a third dimensional physical body so that you could assist your third dimensional physical earth that you have decided to incarnate on. Now, we would like you all to just take a moment and take a long, slow, deep breath. And as you take that long, slow, deep breath, remember / imagine that you have just decided that you are ready to take on a human vessel on the planet named Earth. Feel how that feels. Feel how you are talking with your advisors, talking with your friends, having your goodbye parties, making your plans, writing down, what will I do for Earth in this incarnation as a human? How can I help Earth during this incarnation of my being a human? And during Gaia's time that we see has a great possibility of many, many challenges. Would you like to speak to that too, please?
Absolutely. I love that visual. I love that ability to go back into that energy of what did it feel like before coming to this planet. And not only what did it feel like, but that feeling never left. We just forgot about it. And so getting back in touch with that sense of purpose, that sense of connection, it's empowering. And I think in this now, where so many of us find it easy to feel like a victim, to feel like we don't have any power over what's happening, I think it's important, and that's such a good reminder for us to remember that we always have power within. And once we recognize that and once we embrace it, no one can take that away from us. and we can use it to better not just ourselves, but to better the planet as a whole, and to really accomplish what it is that we came here to do. And to remember that we didn't come here alone. We had the support from our guides, from our friends in and out of this world, from our Arcturians, from our galactic family, and from the planet herself.
Yes. And we, the Arcturians, would like to remind all of you, every single one of you, have a higher fifth dimensional expression of yourself. All of you. Even those who are the most lost, or the most worried, or the most angry, or the most sad, you all have a fourth and a fifth and beyond dimensional expression of yourself. And at some point before what humans have called time, when you were living within the now of the one, of the fifth dimension and beyond, you somehow were able to remember the future, which is something that is not something people think about when they are trapped in time. But none of you are trapped in time. There is always the now. There is the time before the now, and there's the time after the now. But the now is where you are within each breath. And as you remember that you are not just a human being who is having a difficult time in a difficult world, you are a multi-dimensional being, and you have a fourth dimensional body which takes you on wonderful trips during your dream times and during your times of deep meditations or wandering through the woods. Basically, whenever you bond with Gaia, you bond with your fourth dimensional self, because Gaia is a fourth dimensional, third dimensional being, just as you. All humans have that in common with Gaia. You are third and fourth dimensional. Now, what we mean by fourth dimensional is that there is not a need to have power over, because the need for power over lowers one's consciousness and traps them in the challenges and hardships of a third dimensional life. And so we ask that you call in your own fourth dimensional and or fifth dimensional self when your physical self feels like you are trapped in a situation. And there are many people that feel trapped in difficult situations within this now on Gaia. We can see it, we can feel it. So we would like to go back, and what do you have to say to add to this?
That feeling of feeling trapped. I think that it's an easy energy field for us to step into, especially with so many people having to isolate themselves in their home. You know, if you feel trapped internally, then externally you're also experiencing the same thing, and to more of an extreme now. But to know that, you know, there is that collective energy of a majority of people are feeling this on the planet right now. It really only takes just that choice of, wait a minute, I can connect with my higher selves, I can connect with the planet, I can change my experience, I can change my lens. It's that simple. It's just a choice. Just by remembering that alone is where the greatest change can come in, because once you start to hold that light for yourself, once you're able to free yourself from that entanglement, then you're able to share that wisdom and share that unconditional love with others and with the planet. And then that creates a ripple, almost an opposite of a virus. It's like a love virus, and it transmutes.
Yes, it transmutes. And what transmutation means is that something that is resonating to a lower frequency expands into a higher frequency. And what is actually occurring within this now is that Gaia is preparing to expand into her higher fifth dimensional frequency of her planetary self. And many humans are feeling like, wait, something is happening. I don't know what it is. What is happening? And so they get afraid. They don't know what it is. And then when human gets afraid, very often they get angry. And then they strike out. Well, I want to know, and why am I being told, and what's going on here? But then that opens the door to being a victim. And nobody wants to be a victim. But during times of great challenge, it is easy for even the strongest person to fall into that experience of, well, it's not my fault. I can't help it. Why is this happening to me? It's not fair. Well, of course it's not fair. But you, the humans, you are the most evolved species on dear Gaia's body. And so it is up to you, the humans, to work towards what is necessary to have light and love return to Gaia.
Yes, light and love return to Gaia. And returning that to ourselves is important. And being able to recognize that, it's the same with any emotion. When we feel angry or we feel sad, we want other people, it's our human nature in this third dimensional reality. We want other people to feel that. We subconsciously or sometimes consciously choose to share that out. But when we feel filled up, when we feel cared for, when we feel safe, when we truly feel like we're unconditionally loved and we're comfortable in giving that to ourselves, then we automatically want to give that to others too, because that feels good. So being able to choose, okay, I don't want to share these lower vibrations anymore. I want to transmute these vibrations into a higher frequency where it's the most beneficial for every single being involved, including myself.
Yes. And we, the Arcturians, would like to say to you what we once said to Suzanne many, many years ago, is that one thing that would be really helpful is if you write out your life. By that, we don't mean you have to write a 50-page book. Just go into your life. Remember your childhood. Remember your older going to school. Remember going to the higher schools. Remember going to college. Remember graduating. Remember getting your first job. Remember getting married. Remember your first child. Not all of you have had all of these experiences, but these experiences, they all live as light structures, because all the people that have had all these wonderful experiences that we have just notified they have left that signature. Now, in the same hand, if somebody has a great amount of fear or anger, that also leaves a signature, but that is a low frequency signature. And fortunately, if ever we feel ourselves surrounded by or within any form of a low signature frequency, we can blaze a violet fire, transmuting all shadow into light, light, light. And then that lower frequency will go, ah, yes, I do not like that resonance. I am ready to go into my higher fourth dimension, into my fifth dimensional self. I am ready to remember my life on the starship, my life in other realities. I am ready now.
That's so beautiful. And it is so empowering too to take ownership over our own stories, because I feel like it gets very easy to try and validate our experiences, our memories, or what we know about ourselves with other people. Like, is this right? Is this like, am I in the right spot? Like, is this who I am? But at the end of the day, we write our own stories. We are here for a reason and by our own choice. And that's not a story that you can find online. That's not a story that you can find within anyone else. It's something that you find within yourself. And when we find those areas of transmutation, or when we find those areas of light that we can bring into our current nows, those are the moments that really do transcend beyond time and space. And it really helps to ground down, that unconditional love, which is that force that is beyond time and space. It is that strongest force within the multiverse. And so when we can give love unconditionally to what we've experienced, to who we are, to our entire story, and willingly give ourselves permission to do that, to actually set aside time in doing that, what a beautiful way to bring in more light into the darkness.
Yes. Bringing the light into the darkness is like bringing the love into your heart. So we ask that each of you take a moment right now and close your eyes and put your feet flat on the ground and open your palms up into the higher dimensions, and take a long, slow, deep breath. And we're breathing in, 1, 2, 3, hold, out twice as long, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold, and one more time, in, 1, 2, 3, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. And in this manner, we can remember how to hold our love and release our fear. Would you like to say something?
The power of a deep breath. The power of a deep breath to hold the love and to release the fear, and to know that we have the power to do exactly that anywhere, anytime, any place, any experience. To be able to drop in, to be able to ground down, and to be able to make a conscious and clear choice of, I don't enjoy this energy field that I'm experiencing. I'm feeling chaotic, I'm feeling unbalanced. So I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to hold on to the love. And with each exhale, I'm going to let that fear go. And how powerful that is to be able to know that we can do that at any moment that we need. And how different our experiences and our challenges might be if we just take a few moments just to be able to do that for our own health and our own well-being.
Yes, and we can even make that a mantra of, Excuse me. I am holding love, releasing fear. Holding love, releasing fear.
And releasing the fear, being able to do that with each inhale and exhale, and making that a mantra.
Yes, and a mantra is a very powerful thing, because in a mantra such as I live by love and light, I live by love and light, I live by love and light, and of course there are many different mantras, but a mantra is a way of gaining control of your thoughts, because sometimes, and especially in this particular now, that many humans are experiencing, there is a lot of fear. And fear lowers one's consciousness, and it lowers one's immune system. And yes, fear is important as a signal of look out, be careful, don't turn there, do this. That's okay. That's a message. That is a reminder. But the fear that we are talking about is that, oh no, oh, what will I do? What will I do? Well, what you will do is continue. What you will do is to remember that you are a multi-dimensional being who, with great sacrifice, chose to take a third-dimensional body. And you made this choice because beloved planet Earth needed you. Planet Earth, also known as Gaia, was calling. I have a big challenge ahead of me. I am ready to ascend into the higher frequencies, but I need your help, dear higher dimensional beings, because there are many lost ones on my planet, and I need you to help me. Help me to love free the ones who feel as though they are lost.
Yes, and remembering that we didn't come here alone either. We have each other, and it might be difficult to connect face to face, at least for this now, but we have such a strong online presence from so many different platforms that it now more than ever it's so important to stay connected, because it's so easy to feel lonely. And I know that many people do. It's an easy thing to be feeling when you're isolated, and when you don't get to be as social as you used to be just, less than a month ago. So being able to connect and being able to know that, we're not alone, and what we're feeling, we're not feeling alone either. It just takes a matter of having the courage to reach out within and then reach out to others. Because if we can't ground ourselves, then it makes no sense to try and mingle with other people who aren't ungrounded, and then that energy field keeps expanding. Whereas if we were to ground ourselves first and to understand and release our fear, it's much easier to intermingle and commune with others who have done the same, or others who need support in doing the same. Once you find that grounding within yourself, guiding others to help them how they need, or being able to communicate with others in helping a greater population do the same thing is so important.
Yes, and it is something that we are doing not just for ourselves. What we are doing now, we are doing for the entire planet. What is happening is that the entire planet, these issues, they do not know time, space, people. This dis-ease is something that is reminding us that we are all one. And no matter where we are connected. We are always connected to the earth. And if we can remember that we are always connected to the earth, then we can appreciate. Dear Gaia, thank you. Thank you. And there could be some, we are so sorry that we have not honored you in the manner that we should have. Somewhere, as we grew out of being primitives who always worshiped you, dear Gaia, who always cared for you, dear Gaia, who always thought of you first, dear Gaia, somehow, as we grew up into a more modern world, we forgot that we are alive because the planet that we live on is alive. And just as we have to take care of ourselves, if we want to stay alive, we have to take care of our planet so that she can be healthy and she can be the alive, beautiful, growing, expanding being that she is. So we ask right now that all of you who are listening, just take a short moment, and within that short moment, send love and light to beloved Gaia. Beloved Gaia, we send you love and light. Beloved Gaia, we all send you love and light. Beloved planetary self and all the myriad creatures who have chosen to make you, dear Gaia, their home, we send them all love and light. And we blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire, transmuting all shadow into light, light, light. We ask that all of you use that mantra. That mantra will ground you and center you and help you to remember who you really are. Not who you are afraid of being or who you want to be or who you should be. No, that beautiful, wonderful you that lives within your heart, that lives within your soul, that brought you into this particular now because your higher self knew that you are able to meet this challenge. You and your friends, your families, your love, your kindness, and your higher dimensional self. So in closing, we take a moment, ask you all to put your feet firmly on Gaia's beloved earth. And if you have to sit, just keep your spinal column straight. If you can stand tall, shoulders back, head high, spine straight, legs straight. And remember, I am a multi-dimensional being who has chosen to take a third-dimensional vessel during this now to assist my beloved friend, planet Earth, also known as Gaia, my mother.
How fantastic, how beautiful, and how unifying, and how stabilizing. And if we were to continue that practice, or however we're called to ground down and to hold that love, if we were to continue this throughout this great flux, what beautiful changes that can make in the energy fields alone, and what beautiful unifying energy we can create together, because we're not doing this as individuals. And if at any time anyone feels separate, if anyone feels, oh, it's me healing alone or me trying to fix the world's problems alone, we're all playing the roles that we're supposed to play. And if any time we need a reminder of, what is my role, what is this connection, am I even connected, how important it really is to ground down and to go within. And that's where the greatest good can come about.
Yes, yes. And remember that you chose to take an incarnation during this now of great planetary challenge. And we, the members of your higher dimensional selves, we all look down at our brave ones who took third dimensional earth vessels during this time of challenge. And we send you unconditional love, and blaze, blaze, blaze a violet fire, transmuting all shadow into light, light, light. You are the light. Please share it. Blessings. And thank you so much for joining us. And Danny, did you wish to say something in goodbye as well?
Well, thank you to you, the Arcturians, for being here and for guiding us throughout this now. And of course, as always, thank you, Sue, for being such a fantastic channel in this process. And unconditional love and light to everyone. Keep grounding down, keep connecting, keep supporting each other, and keep sharing that energy field of unconditional love. It's stronger than the fear. The fear's just louder. But the best way that we can switch that out is by choosing what voice we want to listen to. So blessings to everybody, light to everybody, love to everybody.
Yes. Blaze, blaze, blaze the violet fire. It's in your heart. It is you. Blessings.